Hi guys, trying to do our best here to make the best of everything. So I got a whiteboard here in my basement. I'm going to try to do lessons, and you can watch them off of Echo and the YouTube connection that I have there. I hope things are going well for you. I'm trying to keep you and your family in prayer, that you guys are all healthy and your families are healthy. You can email me. I put the email on the landing page for each of my classes on Echo. So if you have questions for me, shoot those to me. I mean, the nice thing with a video, you can watch it over a couple times if you are still a little bit lost. So obviously, I'm trying to show you enough examples. Now down at the bottom, at the end, I'll show you these assignments kind of for practice. Okay, and these are going to be entered in on the journal part of Echo, and I'll give you credit for just answering the questions. You can just put X equals in the answer. You don't have to show, obviously, all your work. And I know the fractions can be weird sometimes to put in on some of the later problems, but we'll work on that. So anyway, we'll do our best here. Just try to stay there. I'm not giving you a ton of work, so hopefully you can stay up with me. Okay. So here we go. Remember, guys, points of discontinuity. I'm actually going back to some stuff we already did, but it's been a couple weeks now. But we did this before we left. If you were there, I know some people maybe had different reasons they weren't there. But discontinuity, remember, is actually points that are not allowed to be graphed because they make the bottom zero. So basically, a point of discontinuity is whatever makes the bottom of the fraction zero. So to find that, we just put our bottom and set it equal to zero. So again, the 3 on top doesn't matter. It's only what makes the bottom zero. So if I set the bottom equal to 0 and I'll just solve it, since that's a -4, I can +4. Okay, so my first answer is just +4. So this graph, if I graph this, is not allowed to cross over +4. Now, some of you that are going to go into pre-calc next year will do more with this, with the graphs. But in Algebra 2, we're just solving for these points of discontinuity. We're not graphing. Okay, the second one here, same thing. The top doesn't matter. Only whatever makes the bottom 0. So I'm just going to take the bottom of the fraction, 5x plus 25, set it equal to 0, and just solve for x. So again, I'm going to do the inverse or opposite of +25. So I'll do a -25 minus 25. Okay, I got 5x, 0 minus 25. Remember, just stay -25. Okay, divide away the 5. Divide away the 5, and boom. X is -5. Okay? So again, that point is not allowed to cross -5. Okay? This graph could not cross that. That's a point of discontinuity. Okay, now we got a little bit harder ones. If you remember, these are ones that we just did using some of the factoring that we did back in November. Okay? So again, the nice thing, it's the same rules, whatever makes the bottom 0. So again, the 9x really doesn't matter. The problem is this is now a trinomial, but again, back in November, we learned how to solve trinomials with 0. So again, I set the bottom equal to 0. But remember, to solve a trinomial, we do the 2 parentheses. If you remember that, I had a bunch of those rules on the sideboard. Remember, you break apart the x. And then we're looking for what multiplies to make 12 that adds up to 7. So what 2 numbers multiply to make 12 that add up to 7? And that answer is 4 times 3. Or 3 times 4. It doesn't matter what order. So 4 times 3 makes 12 when you multiply. 4 plus 3 makes 7 when you add. And that's how we got that answer. Now, because we have a -7, both of these have to be negative or minus. Okay? Now, what's just like we did over there, I'm going to set each of these parentheses now equal to 0 and solve them, and that'll be the answer right there. So again, since that's a -4, I'm going to +4. Okay, so for our first answer is a +4. The second one, again, that's a -3, so I'm going to +3. So my second answer is a +3, and again, there's my answer. But again, there's 2 answers on those because it's a trinomial on the bottom. Okay, now let's just do the second one. So again, The top doesn't matter, but the bottom, I'm going to set that trinomial equal to 0. And again, we'll do the two parentheses. Now the difference, again, okay, the same thing is x and x, but the difference is now we're multiplying to make 20, but now adding up to 9. So we're saying what multiplies to make 20 that would also add up to 9, okay, and that would be 5 and 4, or 4 and 5, however you want to think about it. The order doesn't matter. So 5 times 4 makes 20, 5 plus 4 makes 9. That's how we came up with that answer. Now again, I need a positive 9, so this time both of these signs have to be positive. Now just like we did on this top one, once you have the two parentheses, you just set them equal to 0 and solve them. So x plus 5 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0. Now again, because those are plus, when I solve them, just like we do the opposite, the inverse. So the first answer would be a positive 5. Same thing here, I have a plus 4, so I'm going to do minus 4. And the second answer is negative 4. And boom, there we go. There's our two answers. So again, two different types of discontinuity, but both of them are set equal to 0 on the bottom and solve. It's just the trinomial ones, you have to do the two parentheses. Okay, now like I said, you have two problems here that I want you to try to solve. I mean, you can write them down on a piece of paper, and I tried to make them very similar to the ones we just did, and find the points of discontinuity. And then guys, you just enter that into the journal, and I see your answers that you entered it in, and that's how you're going to get credit. As long as you enter in answers for each day, you're going to get credit. Okay, and again, this shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes at the most if you know what you're doing. Okay, so hey, we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.